Okay, well, it's day 3 of the project and I got all the walls painted in the bedroom. I still have to do the cut-in up at the top and down at the bottom and next to the windows and the door frames and around the TV and all that kind of stuff. I'm nowhere close to being done yet, but I just wanted to show you my progress and my thought process for what am I going to do today. Okay, so I've got the hallway done. That took a while in itself, just to get all this kind of stuff because of all the wood. I got to be careful up at the top and all that. And it started getting late last night. I thought nothing doing. I'm gonna keep going. I've got this part here above where the table was. Got that up. And it was so much easier to run the paint roller from way over here, put it on that little extension rod of that little Twizzler, dust Twizzler thing I saw in the cupboard. I think I could have gotten it with my broom handle. But anyways, I ended up getting that wall, and I'm glad I had my construction light because it was getting late last night and I wanted to be able to see. I didn't get done painting until close to 9 o'clock. Just painting the walls. Okay, that and having to go up around that. I mean, that's tedious and time consuming, rather than it's easier to paint one flat wall as opposed to going around door frames, window frames, headers, glass walls, all that kind of stuff. And so normally what I would do at this point is I would start on the semi-gloss and get everything done with the roller. Do the kitchen area, do the bathroom, set up all the craft paper in the bathroom, and do that. But hey, I'm changing my mind. You can always change your mind in the middle of a project, because this is where I've been sleeping. I think I showed you that from before. I just crawl in there and it's a little awkward, but because all this stuff is in my way. Well, I'm going to do this slightly different today. I thought, hey, you know what? Why not get all the cut-in done into the bedroom so that I can then finish up all that stuff, and then I can set the bed back up. I can pull that out of the way. I can take the pictures, put those back up. I can get all of this stuff resituated in the bedroom, and because I have everything moved away from the walls and stuff, I can run a vacuum so that I can get underneath the bed, underneath where the headboard was, underneath where the nightstands were, underneath where the big dresser was along here. I can cut in and finish this entire closet here. I'll cut it, I'll do all that today, and I'll do all the cut in here everywhere, get the masking tape pulled up, get everything done. I can then put the big dresser drawer back over here, okay, and then I can see here all this stuff. I can then set the bed back up, get all that stuff, get this bedroom back together, put the doors back up, hang these 2 doors, get those doors out of the way, get the glass doors back where they're supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? I can do all of that, then I can get this bed out of here. And I can get the mattress, the frame, the box springs, the lamps. And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be here for a couple more days, it looks like. And this couch folds out into a bed. And I brought my sheets with me and my blanket with me. And I'm just gonna pull that out and set that up so I can sleep there tonight. That's my goal, anyways. And I'll do that if I have enough time. Then I'll go ahead and cut in around the sliding glass doors, the baseboard, this wall, the rock wall. You see what I mean? The rock wall. Then I can vacuum back in there, push the TV back, get the coffee tables kind of resituated, put the valance pieces back up for the blinds, get the blinds remounted in the back, and virtually get everything kind of put back together. I've got to do that anyways, right? Why not do that today rather than leave this fruit basket upset, leave this all like this today so that I can do the paint rolling for the kitchen and the bathroom? I can do all that kind of stuff tomorrow, right? If I can get all this stuff back into place, then I don't have to monkey around with sleeping like this for tonight. Because once all this gets back into place, once the bedroom gets all back into place, now I could concentrate in this little kitchenette, right? I can do that. I still had to do some patching work up there. I told you when I'm using the caulking that it might suck up, and I don't know if you can see that little bit right there. Right before breakfast this morning, I put some caulking on there. Now it's drying, and I'll have to take some more caulking and put up there just to fix that, and that'll give that time to dry. I don't need to come in here and start doing the rolling and say, well, I don't know, I can't fix that. You know, I can do that tomorrow and put 1 or 2 more coats of caulking there where it's sucked up because there used to be a little hole up in there. Okay, while I'm doing other things. Okay, and I told you yesterday that I would show you the little white specks on here. This was brand new craft paper when I put it down. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this because there's not much light in here. But do you see the little white specks everywhere? I know it's hard to see. I've got the light disconnected. I don't have much light in this condo, but I'm hoping you can see all those little specks in there. Okay, and that's from the paint roller spitting to a certain extent, and it coming off the wall to a certain extent. Okay, you're going to get that. And I'm glad I did that. I mean, could I have done it without doing anything to this area? Yeah, I probably could have, but then I would have had to have gone back with a sponge and wipe everything. I didn't want to do that. You know, this was much easier. It didn't really take me that long to put these 2 pieces of craft paper. Originally, I thought I was going to have to put craft paper over the seats, remember, and then a separate one on the table. Well, I just took 2 pieces of craft paper, you know, like that, and ran that along there, and then I could reach all that with the paint roller, you see. And so that's my game plan today. I just wanted to kind of review that with you because you can do your project however you want. Is there a right and wrong way to paint a little condo like this? No, you can do it however you want, but just start thinking about it and figure out what's the best procedure, and then after a day your project might morph into something else, and you might jump around, pick and choose what you're going to do. You see what I mean? So that's my plan today, and I'm sticking to it. And I'll show you my progress along the way, maybe. And I'll get going here in a minute. So here's the thing. Am I going to get worked up because I'm working here all alone, thinking, my word, how am I going to get all this stuff done? Just take your project one step at a time. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you paint a job? One step at a time. So now that I got my game plan, on what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to start here in the closet. I'm going to use that old paint, remember? And I'm just going to, I like to use this. This works out really good because I'm going to just paint right out of the can, and then I can use this edge for my paintbrush, and for everything up above I can set the paint can up here and be careful, slide it around, do all the cutting. And funny enough, I'm going to show you the paintbrush that I'm going to use for in here. Ta-da! My little throwaway paintbrush. Yeah, it's just a 2-inch paintbrush. Hey, if you got a little job, if you want to do one little job and you're not quite sure if you want to do any more painting, you can just get a couple throwaway paintbrushes if you want. This one's been around the ringer a few times, but I've already checked in there to see if I can cut in around the door casing on the back side, which I can. It's not going to be that difficult. I could get my cut-in brush, my regular cut-in brush ready for that, but I don't really want to necessarily do that just yet because it's not going to take me that long to cut in this, and then I'm going to have to change and get it into my other paint for this room to do all the cut-in with my other cut-in paintbrush. And so if I rinse my cut-in brush out by using it in here, then it's going to be wet, and it's going to be, you know, it's going to take me a few minutes before I can start cutting this in. If you rinse your cut-in brush out and you want to use it somewhere else, you dry it off as best you can do that, but it's just going to take you a few minutes getting into the paint and getting ready to start cutting in. You'll see how the paint's going to be kind of slightly watery as you put it on, and you're going to have to do a little bit extra in a certain area to get going, and then you might have to even drop back and do the first part where you did when the paintbrush was still wet. You see what I mean? But yeah, you don't need much to paint, okay? And like I say, if you don't have any paint brushes and all that kind of stuff, start off cheap and do it. And then when you're saving money, you can always buy other things along the way, and then you'll get different things. I got a little mini roller, 4-inch mini roller. I used this to paint some doors once upon a time. That worked out really good. So I have to have a little paint paint frame for that type of mini roller. See, just something like that. And then I got some paint sticks in here. Here I got a brand new throwaway paintbrush, a 3-inch, and I'm not going to use that. I don't know when I'm going to use that, but I have it when I get ready. And here's my nice cut-in paintbrush. I'll show you that kind of stuff along the way. See, I even got another cut-in paintbrush. This is a good one. This is a 2.5 inch one, and you know, some rags and plastic and different things. I even got a little artist brush in here if you need to use something like that every once in a while. I don't use that very often, but I got it. And then I got a whole bucket out here with stuff, with paint rollers, 9-inch paint frame, 9-inch cover and stuff, and paint sticks, and you know, I just kind of carry that around with me. You see what I mean? Here, this is a big, huge 9-inch paint roller cover. Do I really want to get that out and get all this in here? If you can see, when you get ready to go up to trim and stuff and small walls and stuff, this is kind of awkward to get up in there. And that's why, for a small condo like this, that's why I use that mini roller, that 6-inch. And see, I just carry all kinds of different things, and that's my paint bucket. That's my paint bucket, and I just take that with me. I take a water container, bucket with me with my simple green and a couple sponges, a couple rags. You never know what you're going to get into when you're starting to paint, especially if you're nowhere close to a hardware store or anything like that. Okay, and masking tape. Once you start and you think, hey, I think I can do this, and you do a couple rooms, you just get better along the way. There's only so much you're going to learn by watching me show you, explain to you in nauseam about all the different things you have to do in order to paint, or read up all about it and get book after book. That goes for anything DIY. There's only so much you can read. There's only so much you can watch, listen, and learn from videos, podcasts, books. You got to go out after you gain a little bit of knowledge that way. I'm not saying that's not good. You can do that. And then if you decide to do it, little knowledge will do you. And then it's all about getting in there and getting it done and starting step by step. And yes, no matter what it is, I don't care what it is, DIY, you're going to make mistakes along the way, but you're going to learn from those mistakes. And you're going to get better at it. And when you get done with the job, you're going to say, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Next time, I'm going to go about it this way as opposed to that way. Oh, I see now how I should have done it, and I'll be better at it next time, and this, that, and the other thing. You can be a good handyman that way, a good weekend warrior around your house, or to help out a friend or anything like that. Start thinking about doing DIY. As for that, of course, I've got over 4,000 DIY how-to videos on my YouTube channel. Are you kidding me? Yes, I do. And I got it in different courses and all kinds of stuff. So if you want to check that out, you go to my main YouTube channel page and you click on playlists. You can scroll down to anything. I got it all in different titles. All my painting will be all in one area. All my electrical will be all in one area. All my ceiling fans will be all in one area. The plumbing will be all in one area. And anything I do, it's all set up for houses that are already existing and you moved in, or your apartment, or your duplex, or your triplex, or your fourplex, or your house flip, or anything like that. It shows you all the particulars inside and how to fix things and how to install things and that kind of stuff. Okay, so check it out when you get a chance. Now here's one more tip before I get into the paint and stuff. If you're doing a small little condo or something like that, I'm holed up here for like 4 days or so. I just have to be mindful and remind myself to open up a sliding glass door. I could open up both sliding glass doors in the bedroom. I can open up the window. It's just going to help allow the paint smells and that kind of thing to dissipate and get out. The other day I did most of my paint rolling. Well, for a good portion of the day, I didn't open up any doors, and so it smelled pretty ripe of paint in here. The last thing you want to do is get done with a job like this and have the people come in and say, man, it smells like paint. And that's because I didn't open up the windows and air it out, put the ceiling fans on. If you got an air conditioner system, you can turn it on just the fan only if you want. Turn your ceiling fans on, anything like that. But no matter what you do, and somebody comes in here first time, yes, they're going to smell paint to a certain extent, but I mean, that's just the way it is. But I'm just giving you a slight tip. Yeah, it's something you should already know, right? All right, time to get busy. I got to get this thing done. Okay, I got the closet all done, and because I ran it with semi-gloss and I put semi-gloss on the walls and stuff, when you get all done, just take a perusal. And that's why I'm glad I've got my little construction light here, because I don't have that much light in the closet. And when I stood back and I thought I was all done, don't just say, okay, I'm done. Just, you know, just spend a few minutes and take a look. I had seen, I missed one little spot here. There was one spot on the wall and I'm like, where did that come from? How come the paint roller didn't cover it? And I saw another little spot there. I happened to see a little line of semi-gloss on the wall, and I'm not quite sure if I did that or if it was, or if that line was on the existing wall. But I had my putty knife here. I scraped it off a little bit. I put some touch-up paint on it, and away I went. Now, what you do is when you get all done, go on to the next room. And so that's what I'm going to do. And when you get all done with your job, you want to go back and just do a touch-up. You know, walk around, take a quick look at everything, see if you need to do anything else that you might have missed, or that you thought, oh yeah, that's right, I was going to put a little caulking right there where I saw a hole or a big old gouge in the wall and I forgot about that. Okay, put some caulking on it, let it dry, put some paint on it. You know what I mean? And just do that at the end. So am I done with this old semi-gloss paint? Well, for right now I am. I'm going to clean it all up. I'm going to clean out I'm going to clean this little flexible end so that I can use it for my next paint bucket for the eggshell and get going some more. But if I have to get in that again, I will. Okay? And as for the masking tape that I got down, I'm not going to pull that off right this very minute. But I will do it in a little bit. Okay? When you use regular masking tape like this, you can do that, but you only want to leave that masking tape down for no more than a couple days, 2-3 days. Because if you do and you forget and you pull it up, good luck with it, because it might leave some sticky residue behind it. It might not pull up all the way and you're like, dabbity nabbit, I knew I should have used the blue tape. Well, I didn't have any blue tape. Well, I only had a little and I didn't have enough, so I found Michelle had some little 1-inch masking tape and I thought that's good enough, I'll just use that. And see, if you pull this masking tape up right now, it's wet. The paint's still wet on there, and you're going to get it all over. You know, so just leave it down a little bit longer. And once I get ready, I'm going to clean this up. And with semi-gloss, it doesn't take that long to dry. Okay, dry to the touch. Okay, so in fact, I see one little mark right there that I should hit before I clean the paintbrush off and stuff. But after I get all that clean and get ready for my next project is to paint over here, then I'll go back and pull the masking tape up and double check it and all that kind of stuff. Okay, if I have to do any touch up, I'll do that at the end. And I don't think I will. And the whole reason why I put the masking tape was because this condo's 45 years old. It's a stain grade base, okay, and stain grade. It all looks nice, but over the years, painters have gotten a little bit of smudge and different paint droppings on there. So I thought, well, hey, no matter how good I get this paint on here to the top edge of the baseboard, it's still going to look like I hit the base. Well, I didn't, so I'm going to have to remind Michelle, hey Michelle, I put masking tape down, I didn't hit the base. Anything that you see on the base is from old painters from years gone by. Okay, that's why I put the masking tape. If that was white baseboards, I might not have put any masking tape, and then I might have just cut down to the wall. But lots of times I'll end up painting the baseboards. If I'm painting the baseboards, then I don't worry too much. Well, when I paint the walls, I go down as close to the baseboard as I can with my roller. Okay, then I go back and I do that on all the rooms. So if I'm painting the door jambs, if I'm painting the baseboards and all that kind of stuff, I just do it just like how it is now, you'll still see that I still have to cut in at the top around here, around at the baseboards. And if I'm painting the baseboards, then I'll paint the baseboards. That way I can hit that top edge with the finished paint and everything else. And if I get a little bit on the wall, I'm not going to sweat over it. You see what I mean? And then I go around and do that to all the baseboards. Then is the time that I cut in the walls. I'll cut the wall into the top edge of the baseboard, because the top edge of the baseboard is only you know, an 1/8 inch to 3/16, depending what kind of baseboard you have. You see what I mean? So it's easier for me to cut the wall down to the baseboard than it is for me to cut in the wall and then paint the baseboard and try to cut that top edge of the baseboard without getting it on the wall. I mean, professional painters can do it. But you're not a professional painter, neither am I. But when I get done with this project, it's going to look like a professional did it, and you can do the same. Well, time to get busy. Here's another tip for you. Yes, it's all about tips. Hey, whenever I have something to say, I'm going to have the video camera there right close by to show you. Okay, because I'm in a closet, and because there's the edge banding for the cleat material for the shelf. Okay, and because I'm putting semi-gloss in here instead of flat, I put 2 coats of paint on the actual wood. You put 1 coat and you think you've got it covered, and it's a good thing I have my construction light here because I could see where it was minimal. It's very difficult to cover perfectly. I don't care what kind of paintbrush you have, with 1 coat of a different color of semi-gloss on wood cleat material in a closet. Do you see what I mean? And for that matter, I went ahead and went around that again, the face, just the part that you can see, and then the edge of the particle board shelving material up here. Okay, just because I could, and because I had the paint out, and my 2-inch little cut in throwaway paintbrush, yeah, it did fine. Around all this, yes, I had to do that twice. Then you've got to decide if you're going to paint the metal bracket. I decided just to paint that, just this part, and leave this white and leave this other thing up here white, this white, because I'm leaving these things white. I think somebody painted these once upon a time, but I'm not going to paint those. Okay, I went around them, and I even painted the little closet pull ends and did that. And you got to also remember, when you're painting with semi-gloss paint, whether or not it's this or on your wall or whatever, the semi-gloss has a chance to run more easily than eggshell or flat paint. Okay, so you just have to kind of have to look at things, you know, do a once over on it and do the best you can. Hey, this is not my house. This is not my condo. Okay, it's a friend's condo, vacation. People come in here all the time. Do they really care how good this is painted? Probably not. They're going to have stuff shoved in here. The cleaner's going to have all this stuff in there. This basket, this other blow-up mattress, big old thing's going to be shoved into there, marking up the walls and stuff. Extra pillows up there. Do they really care how well this is painted? Probably not. Okay. I wasn't even going to paint the closet. I told Michelle, I says I may not paint the closet, and if you're stretched on time, that's maybe one thing you might want to do. Okay, I'll do it later. I'll do it another time when I've got more time. But as it is, I only have 2 or 3 days. I want to get the rest of the condo painted, and I'll drop back and do the closet later. I'll drop back and do the bathroom later. The guest bathroom, the half bath downstairs, something like that. You could always do something like that, you know, as a thought. Okay? Just giving you tips to do a good job with your painting projects. Now here's one more tip for the time being that I want to share with you. Because I've got the oak, nice stained door jambs, door casings, for the closets, for the doors, for the windows and all that kind of stuff. I want to, when I get all done, with this job, one of the things I'm going to do is take my scouring pad and my water and just double check along here and see if there's anything major that looks like I might be able to clean it off. As it is, there's one little spot right there. I don't think I hit that. I think somebody else did that. But if there's just a couple little spots like that, maybe I can take a putty knife or something and clean it off, or a scouring pad or something like that. But for the most part, most of this stuff's good. Now see right there, I don't think I did that, and I'll try to take my my scouring pad to it, and if it comes off, then obviously that'll mean that it was from me with the paint roller as I was going up. Maybe I tagged it and didn't realize it. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do that at the end of the job. And if I left it, look where it is. It's next to the bed. And is anybody ever going to see that? Probably not. But if you're good at it, it's just gonna increase your knowledge and being a better painter. Do you see what I mean? Here's a little bit right there. Just that little bit. I don't think I did that one, but it almost looks like the same color as that. But how on earth did I get just one little spot like that? I don't know. But see, anything like that, I'll just look on here, and obviously anything eye level or up above is what people are going to see, you know, or next to the door frame. Next to this door frame as you're going out. Obviously nobody's going to see the back side of that door frame. Nobody's going to see the edge of this. This is right as you walk in walk out of the bedroom. This edge. Do you want to have it make sure it looks nice and pretty after you cut in? And if you're cutting in, and if you get a little bit on there, you can take a damp rag or a sponge or something like that and wipe it off. And if that starts getting too tedious for you, you might say, I'll clean that off. I'll do a once over, kind of like VideoJoe suggests, and get it then. Then you don't have to stop. Do you see what I mean? Okay, so as I go, I'm going to be aware of that. That's just one of the things on my things to do. And if I wanted to, if I didn't think I could remember, I could take a punch list and I could start writing things down. Touch up. Check touch up paint at the end of the project for the entire job. Check the edges of the door casings. You know, whatever you happen to see. Okay, and if I was doing this now, granted, vacation condo renters were here just before I got in here. Okay. But Michelle, she's going to have a cleaner come in here when I get all done. Obviously, I'm gonna clean up my, you know, any paint droppings I happen to see on the tile floors or anything like that, and do the best I can. But and me knowing that they're going to come in here and do everything else. But before I set up the bedroom, because there's a vacuum here, I'm going to vacuum the floors in here, because they can't get underneath the nightstands, underneath the dresser, underneath the bed. And then I'll probably vacuum the closet so that when they put all this stuff back in, you know, I'll do a couple things, okay? But as for washing mirrors, washing the countertops off and all that, I'll make sure that there's no paint droppings anywhere or anything like that. But if this was all set up and somebody was going to come back in here, I would have to do my due diligence and check everything out and try to leave the place in better condition than it was before I got there. Okay, stuff like that. All right, I guess I better get busy once again.